I've done a couple of interviews 10 minutes ago where I said tonight is the last time I talk about Chris Eubank Jr, right? Until he signs a contract. Until then, I'm not talking about it anymore. Because I actually can't understand why this guy, when he called him an idiot, you're either an idiot or you're scared. Because people keep talking about Chris Eubank Jr. Oh, you know, he shouldn't be made to make 160. He's 160 pounder. What about Conor Benn coming up 2 divisions to fight a middleweight? So when you talk about the legacy of British boxing, Eubank against Benn, I mean, unfortunately, the Eubank side never gave Nigel Benn the 3rd fight after a very questionable 2nd fight. We mustn't lose out on this fight. But I just like, when you're getting 3 times as much money to fight another middleweight or a big name, and you're still refusing to fight Conor Benn, you're either stupid or you're scared. So I'm not sure which one it is, but after tonight...
He's an idiot.
Not scared?
No, he's an idiot.
So that's it. After tonight, I'm never mentioning it again until the fight ever gets made. But I'm not, even our own broadcasters saying, Eddie, can you please just stop trying to make the Eubank fight? This guy obviously has something, you know, nightmares or...
What's worse, being scared or being an idiot? Like, which one?
Being an idiot.
I don't think he's scared. I think he's a tough kid. But how can you not have a sensible conversation? Imagine like Dana White said to me tonight, loved the night, loved your performance as well. He's like, you know, imagine being in a world where you can just say, right, you are fighting you in March, I'll see you there. Like when I explain that kind of situation to Dana White, he looks at me like, well, I don't want to work in boxing. Imagine you getting like, I don't know, 2 or 3 million to fight Janibek or something like that, or actually much less to fight Janibek. Or you're getting more than 3 times that to fight a welterweight. But you'll probably watch tonight and go, I'll beat him easy. I reckon he thinks he could beat you easy.
Oh, I don't know what he thinks because he's an idiot.
And that is it. That's the end. The last time ever until we make a fight. Yes, Cynthia.
Conor, you made your rounds here in Vegas and Viva Las Vegas. How was your debut? And also for Dana White to be sitting and Amir Khan here. I mean, it's not the UK, but it's Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, you had Cody Gabran, Jimmy here, Katie Taylor, Leonares, Amir Khan, etc. So, you know, for me, it's Dana White. It's it's a blessing, man. I felt like fighting in Sin City in Vegas. It's a dream. It's every young man's dream. It's every fighter's dream. You know, to not only fight in Vegas, but to be headlining and have these celebrities turn out to come and watch you fight. It's overwhelming. You know, I looked at it earlier and I was just like, yeah, like people come to know what they're getting. You know, people know what they're coming to see, and I make sure they don't leave disappointed. I make sure that people go, yeah, that was a good fight. He was a tough guy. And that's how I always want it to be. If it goes 12 rounds, I want people to go, he was a tough guy. You know, it was nothing to do with anything else apart from, damn, he took some shots. You know, and if they take him, you're not going to knock everyone out. And that's fine. But, you know, I'm always about putting on exciting fights.
Do you think with Dana White, obviously in boxing with Tom Loeffler, do you guys think that you start working with him in boxing? Eddie, Conor?
What, is it me getting kneed in the head?
Yeah.
Oh, good, thanks.
I just think that Dana would find boxing so frustrating. Because honestly, it's so frustrating. Like, I go back to the person I'm not talking about anymore. But it's just like, I just bang my head on the table. And I think he likes to be able to, you know, and he's always been very courteous to myself and the team, and thank you for him allowing Tony and his boys to train at the UFC Centre this week, which is just a facility that we would die for in boxing. Like, you know, they are the levels. Like Conor looks up to, you know, although he wants to fight them, but the Crawfords of this world, I look up to Dana and the UFC as a business and promote, like, it's an amazing business, but they do have the ability, which we're very jealous of, to just say, you versus you on that day, goodbye. And I wish we had that in boxing, but that's one of the problems in the sport. A couple more, guys.
Eddie, Coach, and Ben, how much more of the Conor Benn US tour do we have before possibly going back and going overseas?
Do you know what? I feel very welcomed over here. And I say that from my heart. You know, you guys have really welcomed me in everywhere I've been, everywhere I've gone, every gym I've gone to, the people, even the turnout today. You know, I'm overwhelmed by the support I have over here. I know the Ben name is familiar over here. All the world titles are over here. So you can sort of call this my second home, unless Eddie has other plans.
Yeah, for me, you know, we came here really because of the situation. Every fighter hopes that after they've conquered their own country, you can finally fight in America. Well, that was actually Conor's third fight in America. You boxed in New York,
Orlando,
and now Vegas. I mean, actually, it's been a blessing. And this is actually the first UK fighter I've ever had headline in Las Vegas. You know, so we've had some smaller fights like Canelo Golovkin and Canelo Bivol, and but you know, in all seriousness, I've never had a UK fighter headline here. So that's great for us. And like I said, this happened because of a situation that. You also have to remember that every time Conor Benn fights, it's on the shoulders, there's questions, it's hanging over us, there's another appeal, someone else is appealing. And once that's cleared, which is in a couple of weeks' time, you're going to see a different fighter, a different mindset, and we want to return to the UK next. You know, we'll be back here for sure, but I want to see him fill up an arena in the UK, which he can do very easily. Last one, guys, have we got one more?
Conor, 3 years ago here in Vegas, I asked you about potential fights and guys wanting to fight. You mentioned Virgil Ortiz back then as a guy who wanted to fight. How do you feel about that fight these days?
How do I feel about the fight with Virgil Ortiz?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Listen, as a boxer, as a young boxer, you want to fight the best. You feel like you've got something to prove. And you know, I want to prove I'm the best. Again, I've used the example of when Virgil Ortiz fought Samuel Vargas just before I did. You know, I'd done exactly the same thing, if not better. You know, you're talking then, when Ennis fought Van Herden, I'd done exactly the same thing, but better. You know, when Formella fought Sean Porter, I'd done the same thing. You know, so people don't want to put me up there with these guys, but the reality is, that's where I belong. And I'll continue to prove it. If they aren't getting knocked out in you know, 1 to 4 rounds, they're getting beaten for the 12th. And that's how I prepare. So, you know, I want to prove myself. You know, and that's just me being young and ambitious and hungry. And, you know, have that drive to fight the best. And people say he's the future pound for pounder, and his future pound for pounder. No problem, then we can run it.
Question for Eddie. I don't know if you saw the new rankings, the Adrian Borders in the WBA rankings. Would you be one with Don King? Adrian Borders?
Oh man, I mean, we're just getting over Chris Eubank Jr. Now we've got to go on to Don King. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but look, Broner's always a guy that his name, you know, Bill was talking to Bill Haney the other day about Adrian Broner. Yeah, maybe. But obviously, look, outside of other fights that we won't talk about anymore, really the aim is for Conor Benn to become a welterweight world champion. The Broner fight, good name and everything, doesn't really position us to do that. So, you know, but who knows? Who knows? We never rule out Mr. Broner. It's good fun. I'm not sure he'd make 147 pounds though.
Eddie, you said you want to come in the UK next. If it's not Eubank, what's your name?
I like Liam Smith. I like Kell Brook. But it doesn't have to be a Brit. I mean, we can bring over a Brit. You know, don't forget he's having to go to Orlando, to Las Vegas. I mean, today he had to box at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, we started the show at 10 a.m. And the reason we did it for Conor Benn. Because where he's getting frozen out, we've had to ourselves invest, do something different. We must have in prime time for a UK audience, which we did tonight. So thank you for everyone for coming at an unusual hour, and I really enjoyed it actually. It's nice to be able to throw home, yeah. We can all actually have a social life. You know, you can go home to your families and have some dinner tonight, and maybe this is a thing for the future. We did it without even realising. So thank you for all attending and your support this week, and we look forward to some big announcements for Conor Benn in the coming weeks. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you.